was a big game when Nebraska beat that team with that good running back from Georgia.
That was Todd Gurley.
Gurley played in that game.
He did play in that game.
And Georgia didn't have their quarterback.
Aaron
Murray was out.
I'm trying to think who started.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. But Nebraska acquitted itself very well, and they were jacked up to beat that Georgia team. And it was striking. That was a good Nebraska team that you had to beat a good Georgia team. That's a top 25 Georgia team.
Think about that. I mean, that play that he referred to.
Oh, yeah.
You're at your 1 yard line, and you think you're just going to run the ball, but no, they play action. They run. They fall back, and Tommy chucks it deep. It was rain. Wasn't it raining at that point?
It was wet, but it wasn't.
Yeah,
I don't know if it was
wet,
raining.
though.
It was pretty wet.
It's a pretty deep throw with a wet ball.
Yeah. Well, Tommy had a gun.
Quincy brings it down, breaks away from the defender, and the rest is history. Yeah. Nebraska wins that bowl game.
And Cliff was there.
That's cool.
Now, Cliff identified that. See, thank you, Cliff. Thank you so much for taking time to call from Florida. All right, who's else on? Kieran?
He dropped off. Kyron.
Okay.
Kyron was there and dropped off. So if you want to call back, Kyron, you're welcome to.
Yeah, this has gone about like I thought. I think it's hard to push back when you start talking about it. I mean, you can't. I read those Luke Fickell quotes from not last night, the night before. I mean, Luke Fickell and that team. I didn't read you the Braylon Allen quotes.
Please be the Braylon Allen quotes from Wisconsin's running back.
Yeah, Braylon Allen. So Wisconsin, by the way, rushed 48 times for 257 yards against Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State was depleted up front. Okay, it was very cliche. The Big Ten team, the tough Big Ten team, bullied Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State ran for 58 yards.
That was a 24-7 game at one point.
Yeah.
It became 24-17 at the end.
Wisconsin ran for 258. Oklahoma State ran 24 times for 50-some yards. Couldn't run. Got down near the goal line, tried to get in a big power set. Couldn't do it. Looked like a junior high team running against a Big Ten team.
Well, and then look at another example.
Yeah. Go ahead. I was going to read Brandon, but go ahead.
Another example of that, Sip, of Big 12 versus SEC or Big 10 and running the football. How about these stats from last night from that Arkansas-Kansas game? Ready for this?
Yeah.
Arkansas had 394 yards rushing. Kansas had 59.
See, there you go. That's SEC, Big 10 versus Big 12. There's some cliches out there that are there for a reason. The Big 12 is not as, generally speaking, as tough as those conferences. Now, the exception, in my opinion, is TCU. Now, let's see.
Yeah, they're pretty tough.
If Michigan bullies TCU, I don't think they will. TCU, to me, is not representative of a Big 12. I wonder what Lance would say, how quickly he would go for my throat if I said that. But I'd say, Lance, they just ran for 394 against you. I mean, you can go for my throat all you want. What do you say about that? Braylon Allen after the bowl game in which he had over 100 yards rushing on 20-some carries. Today, I felt amazing. I was excited to be able to play, feeling 100%. Man, this was just fun. That doesn't matter, though, does it?
Oh, we've got more phone calls to get to. Is it Kyron, are you back, or is it somebody else? Who do we have here? You're up next in early break. Caller, you there? Bueller?
No. It's okay.
Okay. Do we have a caller here? Yeah. Do we have another phone call here?
Yep.
Who do we have?
Kyron.
Oh, Kyron's back. All
Hi,
right.
Kyron. Good morning. Thanks for calling.
Good morning. I got about the bowl games being relevant or not.
Okay.
You can't sit here and say that Nebraska cares about them when 2020 Nebraska opted out of going to a bowl game when we were fighting to play that football season. So you can't sit here and say Nebraska cares so much about them when just a few years ago we opted out.
No, that was a horrible thing. That was horrible.
It was. I'm not disagreeing, but we can't say that Nebraska cares so much when we did that.
Well,
okay, that's fair. Thanks.
I mean, we can go back to that.
Hey, you and I are pissed about that.
Yeah,
for a team that, first of all, that sued the conference to play football that year, to when everybody could have played in the bowl game,
2020,
and you chose not to. That's a horrendous look.
It was a horrendous look
when you hadn't made a bowl game in general since 2016.
Let's be fair, though.
Horrendous.
Let's be fair. There's a lot of the team that wanted to play.
That's the sad part. That makes it worse that there was a lot of guys that wanted to play.
And it was mainly on defense. And there's a lot of guys on offense that didn't want to do it. I'll tell you one thing. You want angry? Bill Moose was angry. Bill Moose was livid.
He should have just said, "We're going to a bowl game. I'm the AD. I speak for the university. You're playing in a bowl game. Deal with it. Enjoy it. Not deal with it. How about enjoy it?" Yeah, that still pisses people off, right?
A lot of people.
You and me both. Not happy about that. Thank you for the calls, everybody. Appreciate you guys.
Great stuff.
Means a lot to have you call.
Yeah, well, we gotta have to. We'll talk to Schaefer about hoops.
We'll talk hoops with Schaefer
about hoops. There's a big game tonight at 6:05 at PBA.
And guess what? I will be in attendance. I'll be at PBA tonight.
I might see you there.
You're going to be there?
I might be seeing you there.
All right. Well, I'll have a beer with you then.
We got to talk about Derek Carr too, because it's a fascinating story going on in Las Vegas.
Derek Carr, Vegas, song of the day, all next on Early Break on the Ticket.